Once upon a time, there was a little village nestled at the foot of some snow-capped mountains. And down the middle of this village ran a sparkling stream. It was the joy of all the residents who lived there. The mothers loved to come down and get nice crystal clear water to drink for their families. The children loved to play along the banks of that stream. And the fathers noticed that the water level was nice and high and flowing smoothly, and that all the debris was kept out of it. It was just a beautiful stream. It kept the whole village healthy and vibrant, full of life. Living in that village was a good thing. Well, one day, the city fathers all gathered together to have a meeting, as city fathers are apt to do. And in that meeting, they had a goal. We need to look over the budget and cut some of the expenses that we are experiencing here. So they looked over all the expenses line by line by line, and suddenly they noticed one line that no one seemed to know what it was for. It said, "For the keeper of the springs," and it gave an amount that they paid whoever this keeper of the springs was. They looked at each other and said, "Do you know who this is?" "No, I have no clue who this is." So they started asking around in the village. And they found an old-timer there who said, "Oh, the keeper of the springs. Yes, he lives way up in the mountains. That's why you've never seen him. His job is every day he walks all of the springs that feed this stream in our village. He makes sure that they are flowing unobstructed, that he cleans out all the debris so that they can flow unhindered right here into our village stream and keep it healthy and clean." The city fathers said, "Well, thank you very much." And then they went back to their meeting and said, "Now we know where we can cut the budget. We never see this guy, so how do we know he's doing his job?" So they sent a note to him and said, "Your services are no longer required." And that was that. For many weeks, things went on as they had. And the city fathers looked at each other and said, "Yeah, see, we knew. We know how this goes." But over time, little by little, the fathers in the village started to notice that the level of the water in their stream was lowering. Not as much water was coming in, and the mothers started to notice it wasn't quite as pure and sparkling clear as it used to be. They no longer wanted to get their drinking water there. And the children, after a while, wouldn't even play down there because it was starting to smell kind of funny. And in fact, over time, that vibrant, healthy, flowing stream shriveled up into just a few stagnant, scummy, stinking puddles. Illness started to spread throughout the valley. And the city fathers gathered together again. Emergency meeting! Something's wrong, and they knew immediately what had gone wrong. They traced it all the way back to that decision to let go the keeper of the springs. So they sent a note back up to him and said, "We want to reinstate you. Please start walking through the springs again, clearing out the debris that is blocking them. Let them flow unhindered into our village stream again." And over time, they started to notice the benefits of that decision. The water level started to rise again. The debris was cleared out. It started to sparkle. It started to smell fresh. The children once again played by the bank. The mothers once again gathered their crystal clear drinking water. And the fathers looked at that stream and smiled at one another. Life in that village was once again vibrant. Now, this story reminds me of a quote in one of the books about Charlotte Mason. It was said that Charlotte encouraged her teachers to teach from a flowing stream, not from a stagnant pool. We can learn a lot from that story and that quote for our own lives as teachers and as parents. Maybe you started out the school year last year, or maybe you're heading into this year full of enthusiasm, full of vibrancy, full of life. You've got plans. Things are going to be good. I know how this is going to go. And you are feeling up to the challenge. But maybe as time goes on, you start to lose that enthusiasm. You start to feel tired, and then you start to feel fatigued, and then you go down to exhausted. What we want to talk about today is how can we keep within ourselves that flowing stream that brings vibrancy to our lives, because it's not just about us. It is because we pull from that stream to give to others around us. And when that stream dries up, we've got nothing left to give. So let's look at 6 mountain springs that I think we need to check on regularly in our lives and make sure that all 6 are flowing into the stream that is us, into our inward being. Make sure that all 6 of them are flowing unobstructedly into us so that we will have from which to give to others. The first spring we want to look at is let's continue to learn. Now, I know some of you are saying, learn, honey? I have to learn algebra again this year to teach my kid. Or, yeah, I got to learn the Middle Ages this year. Charlotte said to her teachers, her student teachers, in addition to preparing for your lessons, keep 1 or 2 books going on the side for yourself. This is not a selfish thing to do because the benefits do not stop with you. We need to keep learning and growing as individuals, as moms, as a person. It is so important to continue to feed our own minds, just as we feed our children's minds. Otherwise, it's going to shrivel up on us. We want to continue to take in these great ideas so that we will have an ample supply out of which to teach our children and those around us.